Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and this is another episode of Rank the Tank, but this is a Halloween medium tank special. And up in number 3 I have got the Bellerophon, and so Bellerophon will go through the good and bad points. Now this is obviously all post-update replays, which is good, so I'll give you the proper equipment and perk layout. So on this tank I've got gun rammer, vents, vert stabs and flash hider, and on the perks I will be running born leader, trap mechanic, snapshot, run and gun, situational awareness, camouflage expertise, radio jamming, supply conservation and safe stowage. And obviously, as with the update, 6th sense is now a permanent feature, and obviously the 4th equipment slot has now been opened up because you've got advanced target info as standard now across the board of all tanks that you play. So yeah, a bit of a dynamic change, should we say. It's obviously drawn a lot of plus and minus points, but I guess that's a separate conversation for another time. I'm slowly getting used to them, and yeah, I'm hoping to get some more gameplay out on the channel that will incorporate sort of the more post-update replays as opposed to pre-update. But anyway, we've got good news. We've got post-update replays. So let's get into the Bellerophon then. I'm probably really making a hash of pronouncing the name, but yeah, there we go. So yeah, the good points of the Bellerophon is you got good shell velocity on the AP and APCR rounds, particularly APCR rounds where you got 1275 meters per second on that round. The mobility is good on the tank. You got 50 kilometer top forward speed with 20 kilometers an hour reverse speed. You got 400 meter view range. You've got 0.33 accuracy or 1.8 meter accuracy on turret rotation, and you've got 10 degrees of gun depression. I should add, you really have good turret armor in this. In fact, I'll probably say out of the 3 tanks that I picked, this one really does have good turret armor. And one of the reasons I would actually say is you've got, it's like based on a Spartan helmet, and that helmet pretty much covers that, pretty much covers the cupola. So a lot of people can't see the cupola and aren't actually able to penetrate it. Also, that is spaced armor as well, so anybody firing heat at your turret is not really going to have a very good time in or successfully penning it. But yeah, bad points of this tank, the alpha, 230 alpha. I mean, look, before this update came in, the DPM was insane on this tank. In actual fact, I may well have ranked this probably first, just based on that, because the DPM really was filthy. The alpha was low, but the reload was fantastic. You can see now the reload has suffered as a result of the update. I kind of feel like it's one of those tanks that I personally think could do with a little bit of an alpha buff personally, just to bring the DPM a little bit up to speed. So yeah, that's just my opinion though. You got 7.5 second reload as a base, which I've got down to 6.5 on my build, but again, like I say, the lack of DPM can be painful. It's got 20% fire chance as well, which isn't great. The hull is quite squishy, compared with the turret, which is pretty good, and the camo is not that great either on it. So it's not one of those mediums that you can play stealthily as well as frontline. It is more of like a frontline support vehicle, I think. But yeah, that's the reason why I've put it at number 3. For those points, I don't think it's as good as what it was. Like I say, I think the nerfs, or the changes, should I say, in the equipment and the perks have made this a bit of a loser, I think, in my eyes. But I say, you get on those ridge lines and you can really make that turret armor work. Yeah, out of all 3, this has the best turret armor by far, I think. And I've had games where I have really bounced a hell of a lot of rounds. So yeah, on the gameplay then, scores are pretty even. We have taken a bit of punishment. That 50 TP shot at the start was a bit nasty. Could have done without that, but still it is what it is. We're on Pearl River here. We're actually platooned up with our good friend Lateral Mass, who is actually in the French Tier 8 tank destroyer, the 3-shot autoloader. And he's controlling the other flank. We've managed to clear out sort of the 9-0 line, and we're moving up to the middle now to try and see if potentially we can get shots on tanks at the other side. Thought there might have been tanks in the middle here as well that we could possibly have battled with, but luckily it's all clear here. And I've got shots on the back end of this Centurion AX. Unfortunately, somehow bounced the rear of his turret, but not to worry, we can aim the shots in now properly, and hopefully we can just go straight through the engine deck and pick up a bit of damage. And but he does get set on fire there, and he gets quickly taken out. But we do see his Chieftain Mark 6 below us, so I'm gonna try and take the opportunity to get a shot in again. I bounce the rear end of a Chieftain because why not? But luckily he's not able to turn his turret quickly enough, and we're able to pick up our first kill, shall I say. Only done 1600 damage, so it's not been a phenomenal game. We've not really had many opportunities to shoot anything, so yeah, it's been a bit of a meh game on damage. But we're just taking our time here because I don't want to go rushing out. It's not how these. It's not how we play as we did before, where you sort of push to positions quickly. The games are being a little bit more drawn out now, which is a nice thing. Gives you a bit of time to think and actually make a bit of a strategic play. Now we know the Stritz was up here. We do manage to squeeze a shot in. We've actually put him down to a 1-shot now. But I'm not going to poke him because he's facing this way, and I think we are pretty much a 1-shot to this Stritz. But the Stritz has come around. We do manage to get a shot to the side of him, picking up our second kill of the game, and we've pretty much turned this game around. There is an enemy Bellerophon on the enemy team, so we're going to squeeze a shot into the rear of him. It's just backing up just in case he was going to turn his tank towards us, but it doesn't look like that's the case. We do squeeze another shot in. Can we pick up the kill maybe? No, we can't. He gets taken out by our friendly E75. Mass picks up the kill on that AMX 1390, and that brings an end to the Bellerophon game. So see how we get on. Mass had a fantastic game with top spot, 1 kill, 3.7k damage. We pick up 2.5 with 2 kills. Picked up the first class. Like I say, it wasn't really much of a good game, but being bottom tier and sort of not having much of a chance to get many sort of post update replays, thought, well, that'll do nicely. So up in second place then we have picked the Inferno, and like I say, I'll sort of just quickly go over the equipment and the perks shortly. Could say this is probably the derpy version of the Bellerophon. It's pretty much the same tank. We've got vents, gun rammer, vert stabs and optics in this tank. And on the perks we are running Born Leader, Situational Awareness, Camouflage Expertise, Snapshot, Run and Gun, Trap Mechanic, Safe Stowage, Radio Jammer and Supply Conservation. Now, just to sort of explain the perks, why I've sort of gone for that setup. Obviously the radio jamming is to sort of try and, it's a bit more sort of a camo perk, I guess. Supply conservation I've kind of picked because I didn't really, with all the other perks that are listed, there wasn't really anything that I thought would be worth taking over that. I just thought that was the best. Kind of the best out of a bad bunch, to be honest, because the others I just don't really see the point. I should probably sort of explain my views on perks really, but maybe I can do a video on that sort of in a couple of weeks, I don't know, but yeah, anyway, waffling on too much, I'm going to get into the the good and bad points of the Inferno and why I've put it at number 2. So in terms of mobility, again, similar to the Bellerophon, it's got 50 kilometers top forward speed and 20 kilometers an hour reverse speed. You've got good turret armor, you'll bounce a lot of shots. You've got 440 alpha gun with 10 degrees of gun depression, so some real nice alpha on that gun. But there's a lot of bad points to this tank, and you know, maybe the Bellerophon probably could have got top spot, second place I should say, but I will explain my reasoning for this being second. But the bad points on this tank is that long reload. You could really look at this as like a heavy medium, I think, probably more on the heavy side, particularly the gun, because you've got a 15.5 second base reload. The troll accuracy as well, with 0.42 accuracy and 2.9 second aim time. Very poor shell velocity, neither round gets past 1000 meters per second, so that's not very great. You do have a large penetration drop off as well on the APDS rounds, which are your premium rounds. You got 380 meters view range and a 20% fire chance. But the reason I put this ahead of the Bellerophon is, like I say, going back to the Bellerophon, it's you know, kind of lack of DPM, although if you look at the stats on these, this actually does have slightly worse DPM. But in a tier 10 matchup, I think you've got better chance of standing up with this than you have the Bellerophon because of that alpha difference. And I think for that reason alone is why I've just, you know, put this in second place. Had the Bellerophon had sort of the same reload time as before, maybe I would have done the swap, because again, Bellerophon with the better DPM and you know, sort of the better the better DPM basically would have just forced it for me, and the accuracy is obviously better on the Bellerophon than it is the Inferno. But yeah, that's my reason for putting it second. You guys can debate that by all means. This is just my opinion, it's not fact. You know, I'm sure you guys would probably think differently. You may well think differently. You can let me know in the comments, it's fine. I welcome all opinions. But anyway, on to the gameplay. We've talked about the good and bad points. Now, in this game here, we're on Kasserine, and I'm occupying this space here because I've got this, you know, got nice ridge. I've got this boulder to the left of me, which is covering my left flank. So hopefully I shouldn't be able to get any shots from the left hand side. I've got this nice ridge where I can use my 10 degrees of gun depression, and I can get some shots into some of these tanks. Unfortunately, I did take a shot there from the left hand side. That's just because I'm peeking past the boulder. I was trying to squeeze a shot into that tier 8 American heavy tank, but I just wasn't I wasn't quite aimed well enough to get that shot away. Going to try and see if I can squeeze a shot into the 45 TP. Snap that one there just because I didn't want to take any damage. Obviously not fully aimed in. That shot was going to be 50-50 whether that's going to hit or not. And yeah, lo and behold, that flew all the way to Jupiter. But we're doing okay. We picked up a little bit of assistance as well, just from obviously being in the position with, you know, we're sort of fairly far forward, so we picked up a lot of spots on that enemy ridge. We'll try and see if we squeeze a shot into that enemy light tank there, and we do. We actually damaged his Armour as well, which was a nice shot. And you know, quite surprising we managed to get that shot in while he was on the move, so I was quite pleased with that. So we'll try and see if we squeeze in another, but he just gets into cover. We do slap us. Nice snapshot into that 45 TP. Again, it's, you know, it's 50-50. It's RNG, isn't it? It's luck of the draw. Some will hit, some won't. But you know, with the derpiness of this gun, I think the majority are going to miss. So when you do hit, it's a nice. I take it as a lucky bonus, personally. Anyway, the numbers are still pretty even there. We're one tank ahead, and I'm gonna sort of push in now to try and see if I can perhaps help our friendly team. There's this enemy Progetto, tier 9 Progetto. Try squeezing a shot there. You know, again, typical RNG. You know, you close up to the tank and you miss, but one's further away you hit. Now we do have to be wary of our left-hand flank because we are pretty much exposed on that. But I do want to take out this Progetto. This Progetto is nearly a one-shot for us. We do squeeze a shot in there, putting him down to 65 hit points. Hopefully our friendly M103 can pick up the kill and take him out for us. Looks like the M103 is moving in, and he does manage to pick up the kill. And again, we've put this game a little bit further in our favour now. Now I'm going to look to see what's in the middle. I'm not going to ignore the left. I'm still keeping an eye on it just to be on the safe side, but I kind of want to help out in the middle here. See if we can get some shots into this enemy Object 257, potentially this medium tank that's to our right. We do get a shot into the 257, but as standard, when you're firing at 257s, it always hits the track. Just always does. Just that's trolley armor versus a derpy gun. Now the 257 is aware of our presence, and it's just getting underneath this ridge, which means we won't be able to get a shot in. But he is distracted. Do squeeze a shot into that batchat there. Again, wasn't fully aimed. It does hit the track, which is a little bit annoying. But again, 50-50 RNG. We'll accept that, and it is what it is. But the batchat is coming around, so if we just aim this shot, we may be able to squeeze a shot into the rear of him. We do actually manage to do that. We've put him just on a 2-shot, maybe a 1-shot if we roll high enough, but gonna focus back on his 257, and he's in a lovely position here for a elbow drop, but he just reverses back. I mean, if he'd stayed just at that point, I probably would have done it. I would have considered the elbow drop, but yeah, he's a spoiler. Party pooper there, so yeah, we don't get the jump on him. So now we're just going to focus our attention onto the enemy tanks, which I believe one is the batchat, the light tank, which I think has now got into the cap, and another enemy medium tank. So I'm going to head over to the base because I'm the quickest one. Try and see if we can get a shot into the light tank. We see that the second enemy tank has now got into the cap, reducing the timer, so we do need to move over there and try and get a reset at least, so at least our team can finish the job. So I'm not sure what medium tank it is. It must be the other one, not the batchat. But now all three tanks are in the cap and we know exactly where they are. So I just need to go in. I'm going to aim for the light tank first because I know he's got the majority of the capture points. So if I hit him, it's going to reset the timer to quite a large amount where hopefully my friendly team can get in. Can we get there in time to hopefully get the reset? We've got 14 seconds left. There we go. We spot the light tank. We just aim the shot properly and we do hit him, putting him down to one shot. But now we're getting absolutely hammered by this Pantera and this Batchat. Two auto-loaders. I've not got a chance. But I do get the reset. I'm pinging in anger there, which no, I don't really need to. At the end of the day, those guys aren't going to be able to get there in time. Well, they will, but they're in heavy tanks. They're slow. There's nothing they can do about it. So I was just frustrated because it would have been nice to have stayed alive and, you know, killed these tanks. Yeah, and perhaps got a bit more damage. But I was mainly sort of annoyed that I just got killed, basically. But it was needed. Hopefully our friendly teammates can take out the last remaining tanks. This Tiger Mouse does actually take out the Pantera. It does actually go on to have a really good game, and he uses a small gun to take out the Batchat. So big shout out to the Tiger Mouse player there. He did actually go on to have a really fantastic game. It does actually come top spot, so, and on Kasserine I have to applaud him for that because that's a painful tank to play on a map like that. We get 3.8k damage with 1100 assists, 1400 block, no kills, but we do pick up the first class. I thought that was a fairly decent game to show, and again, yeah, I don't really have that many. I've not been on sort of on the post update, so I've not been able to get many replays. But we're going into number one, and we have gone with the Wraith. Now, this does end up being a very good game, so please do bear with it. We run optics, camo net, gun rammer, and vert stabs on this tank. And on the perks, we haven't got a fully perked crew, but we do run born leader, snapshot, run and gun, situation awareness, trap mechanic, off-road driving, radio jamming, and as the last two, I picked supply conservation and camouflage expertise for this tank. So yeah, the Wraith, the good points of the Wraith. I would say, yeah, you've got 300 alpha on the gun. You've got 1500 hit points, which is 100 more than the Inferno and the Bellerophon. You have got better camo on this tank as well than those two tanks. Its actual range is about 335 meters of concealment when you're still. You've got 10 degrees of gun depression with 1.39 accuracy on turret rotation with 0.33 accuracy, 1.9 second aim time, an 8.3 second reload. That's base. So obviously I have got this down with you know, sort of running my food, and obviously gun rammer. And you have got excellent shell velocity on this tank, particularly your premium rounds. So you got 12% fire chance, and you got plenty of spaced armor on this tank. Now, this is pretty much like the PZ-58 Mutts. In fact, it is the same tank. It's just got more spaced armor and not as much. I think that's actually got a bit more DPM, a bit more alpha, lots of spaced armor, but it's slower than the Mutts. That is the difference. So yeah, it's a really good tank, and actually, correct me if I will correct myself on that point. The Mutts and this both have the same alpha, if I remember right, both 300 hit points, but this has got spaced armor, which is why it's slower than the Mutts. There we go. Get your facts right, Silbs. And so yeah, it has got some turret armor, but it's nowhere near as good as the Bellerophon or the Inferno on that. The bad points on the Wraith is the mobility is not as good as the Mutts or Inferno or Bellerophon. It's got 380 meters of view range, and it has got quite a big drop off on penetration over distance with the premium APCR rounds. But why I put this number one out of all three of these tanks is I just think the DPM is just in that sweet spot. Whereas the Inferno, it's, you know, the other end, it's high alpha, but, you know, very sort of long reload. The Bellerophon, quick reload, but not as much alpha. So this is why I put the Wraith here. I think it's just overall got everything that the Inferno and the Bellerophon don't have. So yeah, that happy medium, no pun intended. Yeah, so that for me. And the Wraith, you know, this tank is it's really good. I do really like it, and yeah. So we're on Prokhorovka, or Grim Graveyard, which is quite apt considering this is a Halloween special. So it's kind of the stars have aligned here, because I do actually go on to have a really good game. We have got a little bit of damage in. You know, we've got shots off on tanks that have been crossing, and this IS-3-2 has decided to poke up on the hill here for whatever unknown reason. I don't know why you do that in a heavy tank, but if he wants to give us his hit points, that's fine. I'll quite happily take them off of him. And we're going to get shots in there. We managed to duck a shot. Do apologise for the replay here that kind of just jutters every now and then. Unfortunately, I was reloading this off of the Xbox rather than my USB, which is what I usually do. So I've kind of had to mash all the 4-minute replays together, so you will get a little bit of jutter in here and there. Now we've picked up 1800 damage so far with 900 assist. The thing I love about Grim Graveyard over Proc is you've got this building in the middle here, which is, you know, a really great shield. We're getting rushed by the Lynx. We luckily managed to dodge a shell. Now we're probably going to take a shot here, but that's fine. We can take the shot. We managed to take him out, getting rid of a light tank, and you know, reducing their vision. That actually picks up our first kill of the game, so we don't have to worry about him anymore. Now we're going to sort of focus our attention onto some of these heavies at the back. But then we see the Progetto giving us the side of his tank. I'm not going to say no to that, and we pick up our second kill there, getting rid of a tier 9 tank in the process. We do get a shot from something on the hill, which is firing HE, but just a tiny bit of splash damage. I'm not concerned about that. That just gets absorbed into the spaced armor. I'm just trying to see if I can get a shot into that heavy tank, but then we see there's a mill that's sitting at the back there. We get a nice shot into him. And then this EBR then just pokes up in the middle of us, but we're not able to get a shot onto that EBR. And all I'm doing here is I'm just playing patiently, just sitting in the middle, just waiting for the opportunity, waiting to see what tanks sort of poke up. It's quite even here. Then we see this Wraith that gets spotted on the right hand side. He shoots at us, but we bounce him. And now we're going to try and see if we can get some more shots in. We do there, managed to put a shot in. We're getting targeted by artillery, so we're just trying to be careful not to get hit by artillery. Get another shot there, putting him down to a one shot. Be nice to pick up the kill if we can. Going to try and line up the shot. A little bit of rubber band in there, but we do manage to pick up the kill, getting our third kill of the game. And yeah, now we're sort of still even numbers, but just trying to see again what shots we can get off. There is a Goranich here. We tried squeezing the shot, but he just gets into cover before we can get the shot off. Still getting targeted by artillery, and there we go. We take our first shot of damage off of the artillery, which is annoying, but we do get a blind shot onto that Goranich there. So yeah, we'll take that. We'll just try and see if we can line up another shot on the Goranich, but Goranich seems to be sort of in a little bit of cover. Now, then I've just noticed there's a medium tank on our right, which, you know, there's only this heavy tank on the right-hand side. And it's concerning me that there's a medium tank that's there, kind of, you know, only got a heavy tank sort of, you know, that's able to sort of get shots into this guy. So I'm going to try and see if perhaps I can help this heavy tank. Well, I think it's just actually been taken out by that Wraith. The reason being is I don't want to let this Wraith sort of get round the back of us. But then I'm in two minds, because I kind of see this Goranich moving up the one line. And then I see this AMX, you know, tank destroyer. The Malshan takes out the Goranich, but I can get some shots into the AMX. So I'm not going to say no to a bit of free damage there. Also, it'd be nice to sort of take that tank destroyer out. But then the tank destroyer goes sort of back into hiding, goes undercover. So I'm going to turn my attention to this right hand flank now, because I want to take out that Wraith. Again, apologies for the juster there. You can see it's just moved on to the next slide. And yeah, I'd like to take out that Wraith, just so because we don't really have full map control. We've got decent map control, but not full map control. And by that, you know, the right hand flank is potentially a bit sketchy. We do pick up the kill on the Goranich, getting our fourth kill. Now we can see the French tank destroyer. Luckily, takes a double shot from our SVAC, and we managed to pick up the kill, getting our fifth kill there. RT has now been lit, but I'm going to try and get a shot into that light tank, which I do. I don't have shots on the artillery, which is why I focused on the light tank, but artillery gets quickly taken out. Trying to see if maybe I can line up another shot onto the light tank, but unfortunately didn't quite lead that shot well enough. And at the moment, just again, still just keeping an eye on what our friendly tanks managed to spot. But I'm still concerned about this right hand flank. So now I'm going to move in and try and see if I can take out this Wraith, or try and at least see if there is anything over here, because, like I say, I've been a bit concerned that this right hand flank is uncontested, and we could potentially have you know, the enemy team sort of coming up here and sort of getting in behind and, you know, heading towards our cap, and you know, maybe even going down the K line and taking out our artillery. So, you know, there's that threat that they could get on our flanks and get behind us. So I've decided to move up, try and see if we can, you know, get any information, just see where the where tanks are. And there we go. Lo and behold, something has entered the cap, which is exactly what I suspected. Which is why I sort of come up here to try and see if I could get some information. But I've decided I'm just going to push straight to the cap, because I want to get vision. I want to eliminate the threat. I want to keep our artillery safe, because on proc, having your RT alive is always going to be handy, basically, because it's just an open field. Nothing is safe from artillery on proc. So Gonna head on over. There's not, he's come out of the caps, so I'm hoping I can catch him out. And there we go. It's the enemy Wraith. We both bounce each other, so I'm just gonna try and see if I can line up the kill shot. Line it up, get a bit of lag, and then suddenly the Wraith disappears right in front of me. Very strange. Must be a bit of a glitch, but we managed to take him out for our 6th kill, confirming the top gun. Did get a shot into us, which wasn't ideal. You're hoping we could have got just the kill shot. Perhaps if we didn't rush the first shot and just lined it up better, we probably could have killed him. But never mind, we've still got some hit points. We're just going to try and see if we can get back to the middle and see if we can get any shots off. Now that's the one-shot light tank. Try and see if we can line up a shot on the Emil. I know the Waffle is back there though, and the Waffle's just fired and he's just lit himself up. He's in the wrong position to be doing that. We squeeze a shot in. He's still looking this way, so I don't want to sort of be hasty. He's backing up. We do squeeze another shot, and I'm just using this dead wreck in front of us as cover. But now he's distracted by something else. Can we get the last kill shot? We can. Picking up the 7th kill. Now we have got the opportunity for a Radley Walters here. We can see the light tank. He's running. It's a wheelie boy. He's a bit quick on the acceleration, but we're going to line up the shot. Going to see if we can get the shot off. Can we? Can we? Can we? No, we can't. We hit the bloody wheel instead. But there we go. We did manage to pick up the win in the end, and yeah, it ended up being a phenomenal game anyway. But we picked up 7 kills and 5.7k damage. Real nice result on the Wraith there on Grim Graveyard with 1200 assists, 1500 blocked. Picking up the Ace Tanker, the Top Gun, the Devastator medal, and the High Caliber in the process. Bringing an end to a really good game. Should probably add that all these tanks are actually available in the store at the moment in the Halloween section. The Bellerophon though is only part of a bundle, so you can get that in the Spooky Quartet or the Inferno bundle. So you can get the Inferno and Bellerophon together. The Spooky Quartet is 17,800 gold. The Bellerophon and the Inferno bundle is 11,600 gold. If you want the Inferno only, that's 6,200, and if you want the Wraith only, it's 6,750 gold. So yeah, they are in the store. If you are interested in any of these guys, they are available to buy. They won't be on the earn op either. So if you're looking to earn them for free this year, unfortunately, you're going to be let down. But perhaps maybe next year if you don't want to pay the gold. But there we go, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do like and subscribe, so it does help the channel. And as always, I'll catch you next time.